Hello everyone, welcome to Botany channel for UPSC examination. In today's video, we are going to cover the vegetative reproduction in bryophytes. As you know, many types of reproduction found in the bryophytes. In this particular video, we are only focusing on the vegetative reproduction in the bryophytes. So before starting the video, I will request you to join the Telegram channel of the same name, that is the Botany for UPSC examination on the Telegram platform. The link for this channel is given in the description box. So let's learn about the vegetative reproduction in bryophytes. First of all, what is meant by vegetative reproduction? As you may have heard about the vegetative reproduction before, that is, the vegetative reproduction may be defined as the reproduction which takes place with the help of vegetative part of the plant body. That is, many vegetative parts of the plant body are there, like leaves, stem, roots, etc. are considered as the vegetative parts of the body. That is, reproduction from the vegetative organs. Such a reproduction is called as the vegetative reproduction. That is, there is no involvement of the sexual organs in the vegetative reproduction. So, in bryophytes as well, the vegetative reproduction occurs with the help of thallus, sometimes from the rhizoids or sometimes from the special structure like Gemma cups. As you know, bryophytes are the lower plant groups in the plants, and these bryophytes generally live in a very harsh conditions, and that is why they have adapted to the many types of reproduction, and one of them is the vegetative reproduction. Generally, in a structure of the bryophytes, we often found the thallus or some evolved plant body with their rhizoids, right? So the typical structure of the bryophytes contains the thallus plus rhizoids or the plant body plus rhizoids. Whatever the structure, vegetative structures present in this thallus or the plant body or the rhizoids, from these vegetative parts, the vegetative reproduction takes place. All right. So the very first method we are going to see about the vegetative reproduction is by the progressive decay of an older portion of the thallus. As you can see in this picture, this is a very older thallus, that is much grown up thallus is here, and when this thallus grown up to the certain size or up to the certain age, the dichotomy happens. Now what happens? You can see this thallus is growing in the several directions. So from this point, after the certain period, due to the decay or the dichotomy, this part gets separated. This whole separated part got converted into the new plant. So, due to the decay or dichotomy in the thallus, the new part, which is break away from the main thallus, grown up into the new plant. And this is how the older portion of the thallus helps in the increasing the number of bryophytes. All right. So, in the very first method, there is a progressive decay of the older portion of the thallus, and when it reaches the dichotomy, it is separated from its parent plant and grow into the new plant. All right. So this is the first method from which the bryophytes grow vegetatively. Now, second type of vegetative reproduction in the bryophytes takes place with the help of thallus tips. As you can observe here, these are the thallus tips are present on the thallus. This is a typical picture of the rhizia, which is an bryophyte, which shows the many thallus tips. Now, when these portions are under the unfavorable conditions got separated from each other, that is, this thallus is completely disintegrates, and due to the disintegration, the many parts of the thallus got separated from each other. Now each thallus with the thallus tip is grown into the new plant. So the very reason for the disintegration are the unfavorable conditions, and due to the unfavorable condition, the whole thallus of the rhizia got converted into the many parts, and those parts which has the thallus tip are grown into the new plant. So from one thallus, nearly 9 to 20 new thalluses are created, and this is how the vegetative reproduction takes place. Now the third type of observed vegetative reproduction in bryophytes is by the adventitious branches. That is, some adventitious branches like this are coming out of the ventral surface of the thallus. Now you can observe here, these are the vegetative branches, or say adventitious branches, which are coming out of the ventral surface of the thallus. And when these branches got separated from parent plant, they grown into the whole new thallus. That is, these adventitious branches, which are generally coming out of the thallus from the ventral side, upon the separation from their parent plant, these grow into the new thallus, hence increasing the number of bryophytes in a vegetative way. Now, this type of vegetative reproduction, that is with the help of adventitious branches, is commonly observed in the Anthroceros. All right. Now, next is by the tubers. Now these tubers are come along the margins of the thallus. You can observe in this picture, these are the margins of this thallus. On the margin of this anthrocerous thallus, there are thick-walled tubers are formed. And this generally happens when there are the unfavorable conditions. That is, these tubers which are formed at the margins of the thallus are generally formed in the unfavorable condition when there are the no favorable conditions for the growth, and when there is a favorable conditions for the growth, these tubers got separated from the parent plant and grown into the whole new thallus. So this is a typical way how bryophytes avoid the unfavorable conditions. That is, whenever there is a unfavorable conditions, start growing the tubers along the margins of the thallus. These tubers are generally the thick walled tubers, and upon coming of the favorable conditions, these tubers are grown into the whole new thallus. All right. Now, next type of vegetative reproduction is by the Gemma cups. Well, it is the well-known and very famous type of vegetative reproduction in the bryophytes. This is generally observed in the Markensia. What happens on the dorsal surface of the thallus along the midrib? You can observe here along the midrib of the dorsal surface of the thallus, the cup-shaped gymmas are formed. Now, these cup-shaped gymmas, which are formed along the dorsal side of the thallus on the midrib line, they are generally contains the many gymmi. That is, inside these gymma cups, there are many gymmis present, and these gymmis are generally the multicellular gymmis. Now, in the favorable conditions, each one of these gymmis, which is multicellular in nature, give rise to the two thallus. That is, two thalluses are produced by the single gymmi. So, this is another type of vegetative reproduction which is observed in the bryophytes, that is with the help of Gemma cups. Now it is very famous in the Markensia, that is these Gemma cups are formed along the line of midrib on the dorsal side of the thallus, and each Gemma, which is multicellular in nature, give rise to the two new thallus. Now the next method of the vegetative reproduction in bryophytes is by the primary protonema. As you can observe here, when the spores of the bryophytes germinates, this spore give rise to the many branches. You can observe in this picture, there are many branches which are formed out of this spore. Now these individual branches of this germinating spore is termed as the protonema. Now upon the separation from this original parental spore structure, these protonema are give rise to the new thallus. So protonema again helps in the vegetative reproduction in the plants. All right. The next method of vegetative reproduction is by the secondary protonema. Again, very similar thing is happen. That is, the spore germinates and converted into the branching form. And when there are secondary branches into this, these are secondary branches are called as the secondary protonema. And when the secondary protonema got separated from the parent, it grows into the whole new thallus. All right. So this is how the primary protonema and the secondary protonema both are used for the vegetative reproduction in the plants. So in a summary, we have seen the 7 types of vegetative reproduction in plants. First is by the progressive decay of the older portion of thallus. Second, by the Thallus tip, which observed in the Russia. Third, by the adventitious branches, which is observed in the anthroceros. Fourth, by the tubers, which is again observed in the anthroceros. Fifth, by the Gemma cups, which is commonly found in the Markensia. Sixth, by the primary protonema, and seventh, by the secondary protonema. So I hope you like this lecture. Please like the video. Please share this video with your friends who are studying the botany subject, and please subscribe to the Botany option channel for UPSC examination. Again, thank you very much for watching this video. See you in the next one.